Welcome, beautiful souls, to another sacred episode of Akasha Whispers. I'm your host, Pooja Mahtani, and I'm so honored to share this space with you. Thank you for being here, for showing up, not just to listen, but to remember. In our last episode, we explore the mysteries and wonder of the Akashic records. This divine dimension of truth and soul memory that's available to all of us. Today, we take a step even closer to the heart. In this episode, we are diving into something you already carry within you, your intuition. We'll explore what it really means to trust your intuition, how to recognize when something is coming from your soul, and when it might be your fear or ego in disguise, and how you can strengthen this sacred connection so that your inner compass becomes your most trusted guide. So take a deep breath with me and let's begin this journey inward. So, what is intuition really? Let's start here. Intuition isn't just a feeling, it's a frequency. It's your soul's way of speaking, a whisper from the deepest part of you, the part that existed before you even were named, shaped, or wounded by the world. Sometimes we call it a gut feeling. Sometimes it comes as a gently knowing, a tug in your chest, or even a chill down your spine. But no matter how it arrives, true intuition always carries the same signature: calm clarity. It doesn't shout, it doesn't panic, it doesn't rush. Instead, it speaks in stillness. It offers advice without forcing. It reminds you of what you already know beneath the noise. Your intuition is your soul's language, and like all languages, it can be learned, remembered, practiced. There's the big question: how do I know if it's my intuition speaking or just fear? Maybe just ego. This is the part that can feel confusing, especially when you're in a moment of decision or something feels emotionally charged. Let me offer you a simple, loving distinction that has worked for me, and I'm still practicing. The soul speaks in stillness. The ego speaks in noise. The soul feels expansive. The ego feels tight. The soul says, "You are safe." The ego says, "Prove you are worthy." The soul guides. The ego protects. The soul loves. The ego fears. Neither is wrong. And let me say that again. Neither is wrong. Your ego is not the villain. It is the part of you that was created to navigate the world, to protect your body, your identity, your sense of safety. But your soul doesn't need to be protected. It already is. And your intuition is the soul's compass, a quiet knowing that always points toward alignment, even when it doesn't make logical sense. So, what does fear feel like? Sometimes fear pretends to be intuition. It can feel like a warning, like a red flag. But fear is usually loud. It's urgent. It says, "Don't do this or you will regret it." Or it says, "What if you fail? What will people think?" Fear contracts. It tenses your shoulders. It spins your mind. It says, "Hurry, hide, stay small, be protected." Now contrast that with how intuition should feel. It's spacious. It might feel quiet, but steady. It says, wait, or go this way. It doesn't rush you, but it doesn't waver either. Even when intuition is guiding you away from something, it feels peaceful. It doesn't come with panic. It doesn't come with a rush. So I wanted to share something with you, something from my own life. Many, many years ago, I was offered a job opportunity in Asia. On paper, it looked perfect, aligned with my skills, promising good income, even a team I liked, people I would work with, and allowing me to continue to travel, something that my soul was very happy to do. But something in me hesitated. I couldn't explain it. I kept trying to logic my way into it, do pros and cons lists by myself, with my friends, with my family. But the truth was, every time I imagined myself fully saying yes to this opportunity, my chest tightened. I felt worried. And every time I thought about walking away from that job opportunity, a strange sense of peace would wash over me, even if it made no sense financially, practically, logistically. That's when I realized this wasn't fear. I had traveled before. I had gone to different places with just a job opportunity. This was my soul saying no. And you know what? 2 weeks later, I heard the news from my mom that my dad had a stroke. And all I could think at that time is that I wanted to go back home to Tenerife to see him. I had not lived back home for almost 4 years at that point. I had visited them, but had not lived there for 4 years. And I now, in this point, I started to realize that if I had said yes to that job opportunity, I would have hardly spent a week or two with my parents before moving to Asia for probably another year. Another thing that happened because I said no to this job opportunity and I went back home, I had this time with no work. And I had a friend who was getting married in US and she invited me to her wedding. I was missing the people I had met in Toronto. I had not seen them for a year or two at that point. And my grandma was missing her two older sons who lived in US. At that point, she was in Spain with us. And so this saying no to this job opportunity created the space for me to decide to travel to US. And I traveled for 2 months. And my now husband and I had time to spend together and decide that we liked each other, we loved each other, and we wanted to get married. At that point, we knew each other for a few years, but not in a romantic way. But this trip consolidated that we wanted to take the next step. Walking away from that job opportunity opened the door to something very important to me. I spent time with my dad, spent time with my family, I spent time with my grandma. I took her to US where she could spend time with her two older sons. And eventually, I spent time with my now husband and we decided to take the next step. It was the most aligned path for me. It was a deeper soul path. And at that time with the job opportunity, I couldn't have imagined what I was saying yes to when I said no to that job opportunity. I only knew that something in my soul was saying no. I have countless of situations like this, where the most logical step or the most practical step didn't feel like a yes to me. And I had to think if I had to step back, even if nobody understood why, or if I push my logical brain forward. Sometimes the clearest yes for your soul sounds like no to the world. I'll repeat that. Sometimes the clearest yes to the soul sounds like the no to the world. So, how do you get better at hearing that voice, your inner guidance, your soul compass, your intuition? Here I'm sharing 4 gentle practices that have helped me disconnect my brain and follow my intuition. Number 1, stillness practice. Create space every day, even if it's just 5 minutes, to be still. No prayer, no meditation, no phone, no agenda. Just you and your breath. And ask yourself, what do I need to hear today? And then let it come. Don't try to force it, don't chase it. Just listen to the whispers of your soul. It might take some practice to disconnect the brain and understand that it's your intuition and not what you want to hear. But keep on it. Number 2, soul journaling. This is like automatic writing. Take a blank paper or your journal, take pen, and begin with the prompt. And then write without censoring, without thinking. Let your hand move. Let your heart speak. In the beginning, your brain will still be connected and you'll be thinking of what you're writing. But it will reach a point where your hand will just start moving and you will be reading the words as they come into the paper. You're not thinking them before. You can start with a prompt. What do I need to hear today? And then start writing. 3, body wisdom. So your body is very intuitive and your body reacts to certain choices and certain decisions. So notice your body. For some people it's the heart, some people it's the gut, some people it's the chest. It's different for everyone, but just notice your body. How does it feel when you make a choice that you clearly know is not good for you? And then how does your body feel and how does it react when you know a choice that is good for you? And then notice your body. Is it expansive? Does it feel at ease? Does it feel peaceful? Is your breathing and your heart regular? Then that choice is aligned. Does it feel tight? Does it feel constricted? Maybe your heart starts beating faster. Maybe your breathing is not as regular or becomes shallow. Then it's not aligned. It's very simple but powerful, and everyone notices in a different way. I notice it in my chest. When it's expansive, when I'm at ease, when I feel like my heart becomes bigger, it's an aligned decision. When I'm like trying to hide and I'm unsure and it feels tight in my body, that's probably a no. And again, I don't always listen to my intuition, but I notice the more I listen to my intuition, the easier things get, the more aligned things get. 4, the last option is asking your guides. So your guides could be your Akashic record guides. Your guides could be your divine team, the vibration that you believe in, those that you believe in, God, goddesses, angels. You can ask them. You're never alone. So you can enter your Akashic records and ask them directly. Is this decision rooted in truth? Or is this decision rooted in fear? And then listen. Notice what comes up, what rises in the quiet. For some people, they will hear voices. Some people, they will notice signs. For some people, they will see something. When you start practicing with the Akashic records, it becomes easier to trust it and to be guided by it. So I hope you give it a try, one or more of these practices, and let me know how it feels. Let me know what you notice. Again, in the beginning, it will be hard to differentiate if it's your brain, if it's what you want to hear, or it's your intuition. But slowly, slowly, you will notice the difference. Let's also talk or lovingly name how the ego can mimic intuition. Ego can say, I just know they're wrong for me, when really might be a fear of putting yourself out there. Or it might say, I just know I shouldn't try this, when maybe it's fear of failure, or maybe expectations that you have for yourself, assumptions, or maybe past experiences. Or maybe the ego can say, I'm just being guided to stop, to hide is safer, when really you are afraid of being seen. So, how do we tell the difference? Because it's hard sometimes. Ask yourself, is this coming from love or from fear? Does this make me feel grounded, peaceful, or anxious? Am I avoiding something or am I aligning to something? Usually, if it brings peace, it's probably the soul. But sometimes staying in your comfort zone might feel peaceful. But that's the ego protecting you from pushing the boundaries and getting out of your comfort zone. If it brings drama or urgency, it might be the ego. I live a life lately that's very peaceful. People who bring drama or anxiety or who make me think about myself or maybe doubt about myself are people that are usually not welcome in my life. There's some people we cannot avoid. Maybe they're close circles and families. But I try to align to those that bring me peace. That when I spend time with them, it brings me peace. Feels aligned. So when I make decisions about my life, of what I want to achieve, or what the next step is, I try to bring the same energy. And I'm not talking about anxiety because I have a deadline, because that's a pressure, but it's not anxious because you're scared. It's anxious because you want to complete something. So it can be aligned, and you might be having moments where you feel pressure or you have a deadline or you have some anxiety because you don't know what the next step. But overall, the bigger decision should bring you peace. The small details might bring some pressure, some stress, some urgency. But overall, the decision should bring you peace. And again, no shame. Ego is part of a human journey. We are not here to kill the ego. We are here to integrate it lovingly, but let the soul lead. As we said earlier, the ego is not bad, it's not the villain. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to keep you safe. Maybe it's trying to keep you in your comfort zone. We are trying to integrate it while letting the soul lead. So what happens when intuition and your logic conflict? Sometimes your soul will guide you towards something illogical, maybe in your mind or maybe in the world's mind or your partners or your families. Maybe you feel called to move cities. Maybe you're called to leave a job, start something new, speak a truth. And your logical mind might scream, this makes no sense. Or the people around you might tell you, you are not making sense. That's okay. You're not here to live by the logic of the world. You are here to live by the logic of your soul. And sometimes that means making choices that other people might not understand. You don't need the permission. Your intuition is your soul's authority. It's not reckless, it is wise. It comes with a plan, it comes with a purpose, it comes with something big you can achieve. Not everyone will understand that because that's your soul's blueprint. That's not everyone's blueprint. Here's something I've learned. You don't wait to feel 100% certain before trusting. You trust, and then certainty begins to grow. Like any relationship, your bond with your intuition deepens over time. If you have had a partner for X number of years, how you trust them or how you love them in the beginning is not the same way as you love them now. It deepens. You get to know each other better. You know the small nuances, the looks. You start understanding it better. It's the same with the intuition. The more you listen, the more clearly you will hear. The more you act on it, the more you'll be guided. Every small act of trust is a signal to the universe saying, yes, I'm ready to live from my soul. I'm ready to listen to my intuition. And the universe responds every single time. So let's do a small practice. I want you to take this sacred moment to turn in. If you're in a safe place, you're not walking, you're not driving, I'm going to ask you to gently close your eyes. If you're driving, come back to this part later on. I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. And with your closed eyes, I want you to bring your attention to your heart. Imagine a soft golden light there, pulsing gently. Now place a hand on your chest. Maybe you can feel your heart beating. You're going to ask a question, but when I ask this question, I want you to let the question rest. Don't look for an answer. Don't search for an answer. Don't chase an answer. Don't force yourself. Just be with the silence. And whatever rises, maybe a feeling, a word, a memory, receive it completely, without judgment, without trying to push a logic into it. Receive it without judgment. So I'm going to ask the question and then give you some time to receive the answer. Keep on breathing, steady pace, at your own rhythm. With your hand on your chest, ask yourself, what does my soul want me to know today? Breathe in and out, and know that your soul is always speaking, and you are always worthy of hearing it. How did this sacred practice feel to you? Did you hear something? Did you feel something? I would love to hear it, so please share with me. And I want to invite you, if you feel called to work with me, I'm opening Soul Compass. It's a course to work with Akashic records, but mainly to hear your inner wisdom. We'll work with intuition, we'll work with your senses, and we'll also work with the Akashic records so you can receive the right messages for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me in this sacred space. I know that trusting your intuition isn't always easy, but I promise you, the more you listen, the more you will remember. Your intuition is not outside you. It's not some secret gift only a few have. It is your birthright. You were born connected, and you are returning home, one whisper at a time. In our next episode, we'll explore the difference between fate and free will, and how the Akashic records can help you navigate your soul path with sovereignty and grace. Until then, thank you for joining me. May you walk with light, may you listen with your heart, and may the whispers of the Akasha guide you home.